stay safe. Make sure that you take a lot of water, and because of the heat, please do well to, take a lot of water, stay dehydrated, and stay safe. Make sure that you don't stay too long under the sun. So that's just a reminder. All right, welcome on board once again to Trends on the Papers. Let's peruse the pages. We'll start from the Punch newspaper, and you can join us live on Facebook and YouTube at Mela 98.3 FM, and as well on Radio Garden, and also on our website www.mainlandfm.com. For what we have been relatively, throughout overboard throughout the countries, I beg your pardon, states in the country. We've had relatively low-key celebration, when most people actually are celebrating on a low-key during cost of living, which, made it difficult for many to celebrate in their usual style. And, speaking about the surge in the prices of food, fuel, transportation, along with, the ongoing security concerns, relatively as free. Everywhere was, just dry, so to say. And in Ogun State, though in Ogun State and Oyo State, we had like a different story or report by the chairman of the Islamic community saying that, everybody actually came out to celebrate and all of that to the fullest, according to him, said to their fullest. And even in Oyo State, according to, the Islamic head as well, Sunny, saying that, they had a fantastic celebration. And in comparison to Lagos, with the reports Punch also gave, with several people getting reports to the correspondent saying that, actually, you can bear witness of the, of that. While we were having a conversation yesterday where you confirmed the fact that where everywhere was actually free. I mean, the road was free. People had just had the low-key celebration. What are your thoughts on, though some had made comparison about the celebration we've had over the years and now?
Well, I think it's obvious that there was low-key celebration rate. Very evident with, the fact that the roads were heavily deserted. Apart from visitors coming in to, wine and dine with their family members, but you will feel it was very clear that, went to town, Punch newspaper in that report, had gone to town to talk to people. And it was the same story in different parts of the country. People talking about the high cost of foodstuff. This is not the Muslim festival that people are expected to kill ram or cow, but even at that, you could have the feeling, just looking at what's going on in town. But again, Nigerians are happy people who always find a way to create happiness, irrespective, and no matter how difficult things are.
Right.
I think somehow people are still able to celebrate with their loved ones. But again, it's not that rosy as one would expect, and things are extremely tough and expensive for people to get.
All right, just a message, because we'll be getting First Citizen, which is the president, vice president, governors, political office holders, politicians, cleric, heads, and all of that. We're getting messages, the fact that preaching love and extending unity, peace, praying for the country, and all of that. Can you just briefly, what the essence of this message to everyone?
Well, the message is clear. Of course, it's nothing new. That's always the message we get from our political leaders. We would always talk about love, oneness, unity, resilience, love. Our message should always be exemplary. It's not like when you are talking to a child. The child sees more what you do than what you say. And I think for the citizens, while they keep hearing these messages from our leaders, the leadership should always be by example, and our statements are nothing unless it is backed by action. So while they give us that message, we also want to give them the message. Please lead by example. Show patriotism, show love, show resilience, show commitment to doing the right thing, to get more Nigerians out of poverty and make sure government works for the larger percentage of Nigerians. So the message is also on them, not necessarily citizens.
All right, thank you for that. Still with the Punch newspaper, that very story you get on page 2 in the Punch newspaper with a writer that says Tinubu lament low patronage, or traders, I beg your pardon, traders lament low patronage, citizens cut costs, and PDP blames APC for economic woes. Away from that, we also have this very story, an update on Natin Salah visit to constituency. That's the lawmaker representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, Natasha Poti Edwahan, on Tuesday, announcing that she reporters to disregard the speculations, making round Tuesday. And of course, this is coming after there was call for what's it called now? That there won't be
the banning of public gatherings, rallies.
The government stopping activities, especially stopping fishing and other activities, gathering in the states, and all of that. So that's one. Then secondly, seen from the Punch newspaper as well, the front page, an update from Natasha's case. The recall, so to say, that INEC may conduct a referendum in 90 days. Of course, we got the reports. The reports last week talking about the recall of Natasha and the number of people that signed for the recall, the INEC reaction to that, and also approving later when they resubmitted the petition, so to say. And now the INEC is saying that they may conduct a referendum in 90 days. So in those two updates, what are your thoughts, Fuad?
Well, nothing major for me. What I just say is bitter politics. Our politicians will continue to say some of these, very bitter, dirty politics. And like I've told you severally before, and I think I've also told it too. Natasha is not new to the kind of politics we play in the country. She was once a gubernatorial aspirant. Against all odds, she contested to be a senator and was able to win in a state like Kogi, and to be the senator from Kogi Central, what anybody says. I've seen a lot of people who underrate she's new, she's young, she doesn't understand anything. Of course, limiting everything to the challenges she's actually facing now in the Senate. So, again, what she has done after the so-called recall attempt, the protest ongoing and all of that, she now says, look, I want to go back to my constituents, to celebrate with them the Salah period. And then you have the governor saying, like the same playbook, the script from the playbook we saw during the last general elections, where on the day of elections, the road to her house was cut into two. Saying that, look, they must have understood we'll always come our way. So far, she wants to remain a politician in Nigeria. If you understand what I'm saying. It's not to say that these things are normal. Again, I think it's politics. I think at a level, she must have been well prepared and equipped for moments like this.
But for what?
And then on INEC has told us, maybe more, that look, a recall process for a senator or a member of the House of Reps or even a legislator is more expensive than even conducting the elections to elect the senator. Because there are processes. I think the Vanguard newspaper did a very fantastic report on how to recall a senator, the constitutional provision. And it's about 10 stages. So again, just imagine. So it's a long process, really. And you've seen a lot of constituents who have also come out to say, look, whatever was done was a sharp, was all planned, allegedly by the former governor. In fact, some of the reports we're getting is that the former governor has his eye on that seat. He's hoping to take over the seat process. But again, the way we play politics in Nigeria, I'm sure Natasha should have been prepared for days and moments like this.
And do you see, Natasha, wouldn't consider, I think, the second issue that was raised, that she should apologize and then they will lift the suspension ban on her? Because
I know she will not apologize.
Do you know?
Why does she have to apologize?
You could recall that the suspension was not due to harassment issue; it was due to misconduct in the house.
Yes.
So, are you supporting, or how do I put it now? Do you see that what she did? According to what the Senate said, that she disrespected the House and misconduct against the rule and regulation of the House. Do you not see it as a misconduct as well, or
what exactly is the misconduct? Have we not seen senators who have had shouting bouts with the Senate President. And they were never referred to the Ethics and Privileges Committee. Even the same current Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, during the Saraki era, didn't ever suspended.
Yeah, but
that's why Natasha is saying that, look, this is a deliberate attempt. I really don't care. And I think that it is wrong for her to apologize, because now there are other issues that have been lumped together on this Natasha matter. So I think we've gone past the stage of anybody apologizing now. They've done what they need to do. She's also in the battle.
Thank you for what that's on page 7 you get in the Punch newspaper. Away from that, of course, still trends on the papers on Mainland 98.3 FM, The Sound of Lagos. Join us on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. Speaking about oil sector, the Naira for crude, the federal government, according to the Punch newspaper, federal government and Dangote sets for talks as refinery imports. The Naira for crude policy of the federal government may continue as, in Pecon, and the first phase of the 6-month deal involving the federal government, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, and the Dangote Petroleum Refinery ended last month. That was March 31, 2025, and it's on renewal of the Naira for crude deal. And we have seen this Abuja, Lagos, and some places. We now have it sold at between 920 naira to 950. That's approximately 400,000 barrels per day of crude oil in 2025 so far, with about 35% of this supply being sourced from international imports. And asked, with the update on the Naira for crude agreement or arrangement, he said that the committee is awaiting the Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission submission on the task given to it as regards the one of the correspondents of the Punch yesterday, in confidence due to the authorization to speak on the matter. What's the code now? Reversal, or no, not reversal, the agreement or the continuation. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. The continuation for the crude for Naira. Huriwa also is again, and the refusal to renew the crude for Naira would definitely see a surge in price, a hike in price of oil. And of course, Dangote refinery will not wait till when the NNPC want to supply it, has gone out to get crude for refining. Even had deals with the Brazilian crude, saying that consequences of this, and how soon and urgent should this be?
Well, we're already seeing that on the average now.
Yes,
I think prices are now around now, and the border is now at 30 naira. We were already doing 850, right?
Yes.
850, 860, but now it's gone up by almost like 100 naira addition. And that in itself is one of the consequences of hopes that this agreement will be renewed immediately. But now we have committees sitting, making arrangements with another petroleum product. That's the consequence, that's the reality. The urgency that should come with this, I'm surprised that it didn't come. Because again, I thought that even before these 6 months was going to elapse, this committee would have known how important this policy was to Nigerians and would have done the needful by quickly, doing something to continue it. Do we still have enough crude to give locally? We have a lot of forward sale agreement, using enough crude that we can. There's another one. Are we going to sustain that policy in it?
Hello, Fuad. All right. Oh, okay. We lost you for. Yes, we lost you for just a couple of seconds.
A few seconds.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that look, we have to sustain that policy. We are sure of continuous supply of products. 2, we are also sure of some form of foreign exchange market, so we are able to enjoy that form of stability. And for people who were celebrating the drop in price by Dangote on the basis of competition, I'm sure they can now see that having reduction in petroleum pricing locally is beyond competition, the kind of competition they are talking about. I've always said that look, that competition in itself is not real, it's artificial. There are other indices to consider. The foreign exchange market is also very important to pay attention to. So taking our local market away from the indices and considerations of policy so that we can continue to enjoy that kind of stability, relative stability we've enjoyed in the last few months.
All right, thank you. We really hope that, because trust me, the back and forth with the, fuel even in the midst of electricity, shortage and all of that. We hope that, we can get a better solution to that, and maybe really this morning, an update to the unfortunate incident amid fears of reprisal. This is coming with several riders saying Okpebholo confirms 14 suspects taken to Abuja for self-defense. Iowa group warning against incite the killing of the 16 travelers, which unfortunately happened mostly Hausa hunters over false accusation. Bunkore local government area, Bunkore town of Kano State, as hundreds of relatives of the Urumi killing staged a protest. Abba Yusuf said, and the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) in the state have now urged the government of Edo State to them almost the country condemning the killing of the 16 travelers. Now, the begs the question how we can, prevent reprisal attack, and also condemnation of using at least 16 people burnt alive with wrong accusation, condemning that in its real sense solely, and also how we get on the issue that residents now desert the towns over fears of reprisal and arrest, which definitely has dropped a lot of fear in them, because nobody knows. You can't be accused of stealing and it was burnt alive. How do we prevent this reprisal? And the solely condemnation of this kind of wrongful accusation, resulting to loss of life. Forward.
Well, I think the governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo, has done very, very well. He's been very proactive from the first day, from the security operatives to doing the right thing. Of course, that has also led to the arrest of some of the perpetrators of that very, very unfortunate situation. And so I think that to a large extent, the idea of any possible reprisal attack have been nipped in the bud. We've also seen northern leaders, traditional rulers who have also spoken to their people to say, look, to face the law. So I think on that basis, one must commend the governor, also commend the governor of Kano. I think I saw a video yesterday where the governor of Edo State, for example, was in a community, one of the communities that have lost their loved ones. And so I think whether we like it or not, we just have to commend the governor for what he has been able to do so far to douse the tension on this matter. Now, it's very important because, again, the Vanguard newspaper is reporting that, look, some neighboring communities in Urumi town are now deserted. People have left the communities for fear of reprisal attacks or possible arrest. Of course, it's expected that people are going to be on the edge. Again, nobody knows what can happen next. It's been seen on social media, for example, there are people who are still issuing threats and all of that. Whether we like it or not, maybe more. There are people in Nigeria today who are anarchists. They just want trouble. And we're not going to allow it. We continue to speak against it. Yes, we understand how badly the government has failed us. There's no missing words on that. But I keep telling a lot of people who have had this conversation with me, you cannot do the same thing we are blaming others of doing. If you condemn, for example, Lady Mo, the killing of Deborah by a mob in the north on the allegations of blasphemy, you understand? You should also condemn what happened in Urumi. Because this is a killing that has happened based on suspicion. Still not confirmed that these guys were kidnappers. Nothing has shown or confirmed that they were kidnappers. So there was no way anybody can justify taking days to say the government has failed us. Should we also continue to fail ourselves? So you say the government has failed us. There's governance everywhere. Insecurity, they are not really doing much or anything about it. But if they fail us, should we also fail ourselves by becoming barbarians? People are alive in that manner. It can only be animals. They just cannot be human beings. The same way we say it is only animals that would have stoned anybody to death because they suspect that she has gone into blasphemy, but because of insulting the prophet. You are an animal for doing that. So if we condemn it before, and we also condemn others too. Lady, I was telling you about the Alu killing in Rivers State. Those that did it were animals, barbarians in human skin. On the basis of suspicion. So, if the vigilante guys, let's even put it into practical thinking now. I thought that, they were not really hunters the way they claimed they were. They saw weapons with them, they saw dogs, hunting dogs with them, and so they thought it was just a shield to move them out of the south to the north. Okay. But you've been able to arrest them. I mean, who arrested them? Why not arrest them and keep them? And if you think that anything could be done to ensure that the media is called, ensure that the interrogation is put videos on their face, ensure that nobody manipulates it. So, you see, and if shit like this, we should go into full-blown crisis and we have something bigger than what we have now to deal with, something that we might not be able to deal with. Just imagine the reprisal attack starts in the north now. How do we deal with that? To the extent that nobody is even able to identify any tribe now, that the assumption of everybody, is it an Igbo matter? There you see. IPOB has come with their own now on that issue. Because again, at the end of the day, you see, the sad part of it all is that, look, we behave like animals. We are not animals, we are human beings, for God's sake. Yes, serious issues of nation building will always come up. But not for us to get to the point where at any little provocation we go into this animalistic. You know, put myself together, even as a journalist, to watch the entire video because of the trauma that was going to bring to my mind. So what we are saying is that, look, we cannot do the same thing we keep condemning. We cannot be the same people we are condemning. And if you are condemning us on the basis of suspicion, the government is failing us, we are also failing ourselves.
Country to protect. What do you think are the significant measures that each state, can take up and of citizens, residents about this issue?
Look, we should be careful with stereotyping, first and foremost. These stereotypes that we keep putting out. And they start those kinds of things. So do you know that there are people who don't even know that the Hausas are different from Fulani? Sure, you know there are people who don't even know. The same way there are people in the north now who don't even know that somebody from Edo State is not an Igbo. It's not from Igbo.
Right.
It's not from the East, sorry. They see them as the same thing. So the same thing, these guys are called Hausa hunters. They are not even Fulani. In the north, you have people who are not even Fulani, who are not Hausa, who are other tribes in the north. It's not that when you come to the north central part of the country, do you know how many tribes? In the far north. All the security guys around us here, Lady Mo, are they not from Borno State? Are they Muslims? Don't you see their names? Elijah, this, Aaron. Are they not Christians? And that's the way you find it in Borno State, in Adamawa, in Gombe. You know what they are doing. Can we understand that, look, if you say the politicians are bad, it is not about a tribe or a region. It is a problem that we have to collectively address without stereotyping in tribe or region. We have a problem. Don't you have criminal or ritual killing? People will be beginning to use that to stereotype the entire Yoruba race as troublemakers. It is wrong of troublemakers within them, and the government is not doing enough to kill ourselves.
All right, thank you for what we just from the Guardian, page 6 rather, captures that story, and you also get that from the Punch newspaper, page 2, as that very update with the side to that, and the Vanguard reprisals and arrests. Still with the Vanguard Guardian newspaper rather. Quickly, let's go to Rivers State. We are having a statement credited to the suspended governor Fubara, saying that Rivers will emerge stronger from political crises, strengthening the people rather than weaken them. And he acknowledged that the political tension might leave many depressed, but stated that supernatural forces might be at play beyond human understanding. But however, the former head of service Yeah, we'll pick that also with it. George Onwaike against Fubara and his chief of staff, Iṛsᴜn here. And Fubara able to avoid certain elements, who sought to destabilize the state. And he stated this, when he received Muslim leader in Port Harcourt. Fuad, how do you see this before we move away to the allegations allegations, the chief of staff statement and all of that? If Fubara is facing or is in his time of temptation or test in his word, there's a word he called it in Islam. And do you see any progress, so to say, in unity and peace coming back to the state?
Not for now. We have no information coming together to resolve their issues, even though the real issue nobody has been told. Up till today, the reason for the fight between Nyesom-Wike and Governor Fubara, again, I fight democracy, for example, you will have a situation where the president is suspending a governor, an elected official suspending another elected official. So you see that I struggle really to use the word suspended governor, because for me, it's an aberration. I think Governor Fubara would have to learn to play his politics the way they expect him to play it. And when I say they expect him to play it now, I think at some point we have to leave morality aside. It's a game of survival now for him, if you understand what I'm saying. From start to finish, the entire electoral process of how people get into office does not bring morality into the conversation, if you understand what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, there's really no internal democracy. People keep buying forms for people. They read the electoral process, intimidate voters. So I think at this point, what I would understand that, look, he had two options before becoming governor. The first option was stable with the devil at all. So since he had decided to go into that unholy alliance that had brought him to power, I think he needed to learn how to survive in that kind of situation, if you understand what I'm saying. So you need to learn in politics and learn out very dirty situation. But it's not working, and it may never work for him. So he now has to learn it the dirty way. And that I don't know. Again, if you listen to us on Sunday, Political Roundtable, there were different suggestions. One of them was that, look, the timing was wrong. He needed not to have started the fight against Nyesom-Wike at that time. I'm talking the dirty politics we play in Nigeria now, so people don't misunderstand me. If I was going to talk about the issue, normally I'll talk about morale, where they expect us to accept it. Oh, was the timing wrong? Number two, somebody gave an example. One of the callers who had brought in Theodore Orji as a godson. They came in from Abga. And then when they were going to have issues, you had Orji Uzor defect to the PDP to gain some form of federal support and might against the governor. You know what the governor did too? From Abga, he also defected in some federal support or federal might for Orji Uzor. The governor went there and said, look, I'm also here for you. You know what somebody told me at the sidelines of the Political Roundtable on Sunday? That, look, just imagine a situation where again leave morality out of the conversation. If you are listening to me this morning, we're talking the politics they play in the country. And somebody said, oh, just imagine Fubara at the point where this problem was going to start. Mr. President, we are also in the APC, we are coming. We are also joining the APC. What would have happened? The way it is properly played, the way it is morally and rightfully played. We play dirty, and this thing, we are going to give him some good thinking about how to survive, this kind of politics. So he needs to get his politics right.
Speaking about playing politics, quickly, your thought about the startling Iṛsᴜn here, alleging that he was offered Rivers State House of Assembly, and he also denied claims that he orchestrated the October 30, 2023 bombing of the Rivers Assembly complex, for Fubara's order. That's the allegation that was made by the former head of service in the state, George Onwaike, who alleged that he witnessed a bag of money being handed over to him. That he have been, coming out to say that there is something, because I was seeing a report where they said they saw someone, taken down of the assembly and all of that, and people have been calling for the hidden, that there is so much to the story that we know. That there's so much that we do not know. Yeah.
The reality is that we'll continue to have these allegations and counter allegations. He did this, he didn't do it. You understand? The head of the immediate part of Savi has come up with his own drama. and then you now have a situation where the wife even say, "No, be my husband be this. I don't know what happened to him. No, I don't have to facilitate the removal of Fᴜဃᴜ. The reality is that look, unlike the former governor of the state, Rotimi Amechi said recently, it's all about sharing the resources of the state. It's not anything about governance. And I don't think the other people on the other side too have hidden the fact that look, it's about what they invested and what they are not getting back. So it's clear that it is not about governance, but about what the sharing formula. What the sharing formula was, nobody has been able to see. Whether a contract was signed, whether an agreement was signed or a memo was signed somewhere, nobody has seen it. But it is clear from what we have been able to aggregate that look, this is not about governance, it matter because they will keep coming.
Right.
What I think is important now is for the suspended governor to now find a way to survive and play his politics well, the way they expect him to play.
All right. Our time is fast spent. We need to go on a commercial break and be back for Mail and Focus. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Of course, trends in the papers. We'll quickly step aside for to pay some bills, and then we'll be back on Mail and Focus on Mail 98.3 FM. Good morning once again.